just go with it. You can unmute yourself. I don't know if I need to do that, you can do that, but if you have questions, like I encourage open dialogue. There will be room for a conversation, but I really encourage you just to go with what we're doing. I'll be giving a lot of, we'll be doing a task and we'll be doing it for a while, and then I'll try to layer on information. Just try to go with it, connect with it. And if you have questions, you can ask along the way. Yeah, just be really patient with yourself. Do I have to unmute people?
You can if you want.
Well, let's start right now. I actually want you guys starting each class. We always spend about the first 5 minutes or so massaging our feet. So grab your right foot, start massaging them with your hands. I think it's something, it's very important. I don't think we talk a lot about like massage and these other things that we need to do, but we need to really practice them. So I want to give the first 5 minutes to do something like this. Also, can everyone hear me fine? Cool.
Yes.
And if you can adjust your camera angle as best as you can, just so I can see most of your body. I have a plan for class, but there's oftentimes I'll be veering off the plan based on what I see on the screen and how your bodies are responding to the information. Don't neglect rubbing the top of your foot as well, rubbing the ankle space. Is it Annie? I can't tell you. I think it's Karina. Oh, because she got booted off. Start rubbing the area where the heel meets the calf. Start massaging up the calf. Eventually leading to the area where the calf meets the back space of the knee.
Oh.
Try to give yourself a little massage in the front space of your shin, kind of on the lateral side of the tibia. Is there anything here? Switch feet. I want you to massage the entire foot, but I want you to try emphasizing massaging the arch space that's between the metatarsal of your big toe and then kind of that medial space. That makes sense, but it's fine.
Yeah, that
Go with it.
really did. It's really rough on your feet.
I'm just really rough on my feet. Yeah. I got dancer's feet. They're like bricks.
Biscuits.
Gotta break them biscuits. Don't neglect to pull your toes away from the metatarsals. Massaging that space a little bit.
Jen knows how sore I am.
Good. Start massaging the space where the heel meets the calf. I also don't have any music. If you guys want to have your own music on, go for it. Whenever I have music on, it just interrupts class. Start massaging up the calf. Eventually massaging that area where the calf meets the back of the knee space.
Mind and body. This is mind and body. Are you okay?
Give your forearms a little massage if they feel sore after it. I know mine do.
My thumbs are sore.
Also, I encourage you, it's good to keep the screen nearby, but there's often times where I feel like you don't need to look at the screen. You can just simply listen to my information. If what you're doing looks different from what I'm doing, that's fine. And I actually encourage that. This class is a lot about researching, experimenting, a lot about small movements and how that can open up the body and really just listening to sensation. So for right now, this would be a good time. If you feel we're gonna come into a seated position with our right leg in front of us and our left leg behind us. It's a really awkward position. This is when, if you feel like your butt can't really reach the ground, or you feel like your hip flexor is just so tight here, your left one, whatever leg is behind, that's when I encourage you to put something underneath your butt for this, because we're gonna be here for a little bit and we'll eventually switch sides, yeah? And I try to keep my right foot on the inside of my left thigh, kind of closer to my crotch. If your right foot goes out too much, it's not as pleasurable. Some of you are kind of already doing it, but there's a practice in this class that we work with often. It's called, I call it orbiting. Essentially what it is, I want you to pretend like you have a ball. Try to make it small. You can imagine a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball. I want you putting it in the middle of your pelvis, somewhere in between the groin and the tailbone. And I want you to start circling from the tailbone and the pubic bone area. It's not so much about your torso circling and your chest. We're trying to really invest in circling with your tailbone, activating those muscles. That's right below the navel. I want you to actually right now, you can place your hands behind your sacrum and then have one right below the navel area. Somewhere in between this space, that's where I want you moving from, where I want you circling. If you feel any tension or pain in your left hip flexor, try to move somewhat smaller. As you're doing this, I want you to feel like you're softening the hips as much as you can. You're not trying to initiate any effort from your hips. It's all coming from your tailbone and your pubic bone. If you haven't already, imagine that the ball is a little bigger. I want you to feel like you can trace your tailbone around the rim of the ball. Now place your hands on your chest, still continuing this task. I want you to feel like you can melt any tension from your chest. Change direction of the circle. I'm going counterclockwise now. As you're doing this, try to connect more to pleasure rather than tension, rather than effort. You can place your hands on your knees. You can place your arms really anywhere that's comfortable for you. Let's allow this circle, this wave that we're creating, travel up the spine. We're kind of already doing it, but I want you to bring your awareness to the rope of your spine. Allowing the navel to be expressive, that can go into and away from your spine. you start feeling any tension or effort coming from your hips, I encourage you just to move a little smaller. Allow this wave to travel upward into your chest, treating your sternum as if it's the navel. Sternum can go into and away from your spine. Change direction of the circle. Play with the placement of your head as you're doing this. Allow your face to face towards the floor, to face out in front of you. Playing with the distance between your chin and your collarbones. Bring your arms out into a wide position. It can be in a T, it can really be in anything. Feel that you can send this wave, this circle that you're doing from your pelvis. Feel like you can send it through the navel, through the chest, through the shoulders, and eventually out to your hands. Really try to listen to any small sensations, anything that's opening. Try to melt any tension from the chest. Really try to treat your arms as if they're threads, really light. Change direction of the circle. We're going to do a bind with our arms, continuing the circle. You'll allow your right arm to go over your left arm, and you simply just want to twist them together so the palms are facing. You can allow your hands to be close to your forehead for now. Now allow the hands to go away from the forehead. Same with the elbows. Trying to draw the shoulders away from the ears, creating space in between those 2 points. You can actually kind of imagine that you're like you're stirring soup a little bit with your elbows. You can make the circle a little bigger if you like, really trying to maintain the integrity of your pelvis, trying to give freedom to the cis bones. Change direction of the circle. Allow your arms to unwind. And let's stop the circle motion. Bring your right hand over your left ear. Bring your left arm out into a T. And begin to stretch the area that's between your left shoulder and your left ear. Slightly pulling the head away. Try not to have any excess force. Try not to pull any tension in your chest. Continue the stretch, and I want you to feel like you can soften the right side of your ribs. Allow your right arm to go on the floor. I want you to stretch the left arm over to the right hand. Really trying to open the area of your left hip flexor.
Good. Really try to connect to your accordion ribs. Really trying to collapse the right side of your ribs and allowing the left side of the ribs to really open up. Allowing space to expand and inflate in between each rib. Come back to center. Whew, that was a little long, but switch, let your legs come out. Just notice any sensation. Notice the state of your legs. And then switch sides. Allow your left leg now to be in front, your right leg behind. And you don't have to begin with a circle. You can, on this side, we can begin to just connect to curved movement. Kind of wagging your tailbone a little bit. It's okay that this is very awkward. Most of us do not do this ever. But I really want you to try to enjoy being able to move in this way. Move in a way that's small and sensitive. Let's begin the circling on this side. It doesn't matter whether you're going in clockwise or counterclockwise direction. We probably won't be on this side for as long, but I want you to start practicing anything that we did on the other side right now for your own research. You can place your hands on the back of the sacrum or the pubic area. You can have your hands on your chest. Really try to sense how you're shifting the weight in your legs, how you're shifting the weight between your left and right sides. Try to soften any tension in your thighs as well. Change direction of the circle. As you're doing this, you can be a little more expressive with your torso now since we freed up the hips a little bit. Allowing your navel and your sternum to go in and out of the spine. It's okay to be somewhat groovy about it. It's really awkward. Don't be shy. I don't think anyone's actually watching you. Well, I'm watching you, but. But this is, and then take a deep breath. Take a sigh if you need. Try not to get too in your head about what we're doing. This is really trying to connect to pleasure. Connecting more to movement rather than shape. Good, bring your arms out into a T. Hey, girl.
On my hand.
And let's try something new together. Really try to go with me here. Keep your arms out into a T. I'll just layer on some information as we're doing it. But try to, the space beneath us, it's either carpet, hardwood floor. Let's pretend or imagine like the space beneath us is warm sand. See how that changes your movement. Feel that you can allow the sits bones to go into and out of the floor. Allow your arms to go into a bind, this time having the left arm go over the right arm. Sorry, and then twist them. Other way. So lift.
Oh,
You want your elbows to go over each other. Well, I know you have boobs, but
there,
that's a little harder.
close enough.
Right now, play with the distance between your hands and your forehead. And here, start to bring a little bit more awareness to your shoulder blades. Feel that they can softly glide along the rib cage. You can allow, try to produce a little more oil in between your joints so the bones can softly glide and move within your flesh. Good. Unwind the arms. Slow down the speed of the circle. Bring your left hand over your right ear and your right arm out into a T. And then slightly pull your head to the left, allowing the right ear to draw away from the right shoulder. Really try to melt any tension that's in your chest. Allow your chest to softly sit on top of your rib cage. Good. Collapse the left side of your ribs, allowing the right side of your ribs to expand. And really try to have your right arm reach over to the left side, over your left hand, expanding your right hip flexor, softening into the left hip. Good, come back to center. We're gonna change up the plan a little bit. We're gonna go into a nice down dog position. Do you need my mat, Charlie? Okay. Tuck the toes under, allow your hips to go towards the ceiling. Pedal out your feet, allowing the heel to go into and out of the floor. Really try to activate any sensitivity in your hands and your feet, similar to how a cat needs its paws. Take a couple big inhales and exhales. And walk your hands back to your feet. Softly and gently, just fold over your legs. Your legs can be straight or bent, it doesn't matter. From the tailbone, try to initiate movement of your torso to sway side to side. Letting the meeting between your torso and your thighs be soft and pleasant. We're gonna roll up, so tuck the tailbone in and roll up the spine slowly. Still maintaining a steady breath. Bring your arms up overhead. Oh, you can't see me as well, shit. Sorry, stay there. From here, grab the left wrist with your right hand. Stretch over to the right side, connecting to those accordion ribs. Softly allowing the right side of the ribs to collapse and the left side to expand. Good, come back to center. Reach your arms up overhead again. Grabbing your right wrist with your left hand. Stretching over to the left side. Notice where the placement of your hips are in this. Try not to go to your extreme and stretch over. Back up about 20% of your max stretch. And try to notice where the weight is in your feet. It's more on your left foot or your right foot. Good, come back to center. Place your hands behind your hips. We're gonna go into a back arch, but what I want you to do is softly give a gentle press to your hips to go slightly forward
And allow this weight that starts in the pelvis to travel up the front of your spine, leading the sternum to face towards the ceiling, softening the back space of your neck. Take a couple inhales and exhales here. Good, tuck the tailbone into the chest, roll down slowly. Trying to increase the space between each vertebrae. Good, come out into a down dog position. Now I want you to bring your body into a plank position, really soft. You can have your knees on the floor as well if you feel too much tension. I'll try not to be here as long, but I want you to, similar way that what we were doing on our pelvis. Thank you. Assistant.
I see your butt.
But I
I'm
want
the
you
assistant now.
to start circling in your plank a little bit. Often when we go into a plank, we're so like rigid, like kind of like a wood board. But I want you to start shifting the weight in your plank, bringing your weight all the way forward into your hands, and then completing a circle with it, putting the weight more into your right side of your body. Bring the weight more towards the back. You can bend your knees and have the weight go back towards your feet. And then pushing from the feet, bringing the weight onto your left side of the body, and then back to the front. Do a few of these. When you're shifting the weight to the back, you can also go into a down dog if you need a little bit of a stretch. If you need to take a break with your plank. Try to maintain a steady breath here. Try to connect to pleasure, not effort. Change directions. Do a few on the other side. Very soft, be very gentle with your body as you're doing this. Let's all meet into a down dog position. And walk your hands back to your feet once more. Enjoy folding over your legs. As you're folding over, try to borrow any skin from your ass and bring it more towards your head so you can elongate the torso a little more. Tuck the tailbone in. Roll up together slowly. Did that tip help anyone? Was that anyone able to borrow skin from their butt?
I don't know.
Reach your arms up overhead.
You mean like
Thank you so much for doing the camera. We're gonna do an open twist to the right. And this time, usually I always say draw your left hip backwards and your right hip forwards. But this time, allow your hips to be open. Give freedom to the sit bones a little bit. Even though we're open twisting to the right, I want you to continue the twist with your spine. So you're eventually looking over your right shoulder. And as you're in this twist, often it's like wringing out a towel. We just twist and we're not available for movement. But sense how, even if you're in this twist, you're still available for a little bit of movement in the spine. If that means you have to back up your stretch 20%, so be it. Maintain this twist. You don't need to look at the screen, but I want you to start bending your legs, folding at the hip creases. Eventually our torso will be horizontal to the floor in parallel, but I want you to imagine you're looking underneath the dinner table. If you want to put your hand on the ground, you can, but I encourage you only to do that when you feel like your legs are giving out. Really try to connect and enjoy the burning sensation in your legs. Try not to tense the muscles so much that you're suffocating the bone. You want to feel that your legs can still breathe. Allow the hand to meet the floor. You can lengthen the legs if you like or keep them bent. You can just do an open twist to the right with your hand on the floor. Let a sigh out if you need. From here, maintain this twist and come back up. Actually, no, let's actually just fold over our legs through center. Release any tension. Tuck the tailbone in. Roll up the spine nice and slow. That was kind of a laugh. That felt that. Okay, felt good to me. All right, open twist to the left.
I didn't see.
Allow your hips to be free. If you want to draw that right hip backwards and left hip forwards, totally go for it. But we're going to be doing the same thing on the other side. Kind of go through those steps with you. Twist over enough where you're looking over your left shoulder. Keeping your spine available for movement. Good, Charlie.
Should I open my hip?
Soften out the hip flexors, allowing your torso to fold over your legs a little bit, maintaining that twist, letting your gaze go towards the ceiling, and have the fantasy of looking underneath the table. Try to connect to, I found out a new word the other day, it's really nice. It's called coiling. It literally means to twist and elongate, but you're like literally still available for movement. Try to have your spine connect to it. You can treat your spine as more of a snake. Allow your right hand to go on the floor if needed. And then from here, let's just try it together. Allow your right hip to draw backwards and your left hip to draw forwards and see how that changes your spine. You can try it out a couple times for yourself. Fold over your legs in 3, 2, 1. Fold over, melt any tension. Again, tuck the tailbone in. Roll up the spine nice and slow. One way I connect to when I stand, I don't just drop everything and stand like, oh, I'm in class, I'm waiting for the teacher to do whatever. You can imagine collapsing in a pool of water. So you're not allowing gravity to shape you. You're kind of just allowing it to pass through you. And right now, we're gonna begin orbiting again, but we're just gonna try it standing up. How are we doing that time? We're doing pretty good. Okay. You can put your hands behind your sacrum and in the pubic area again. Imagining that there's a ball in the center of your pelvis. And we're going to change that up a little bit. We're going to change our circle from going just horizontal, and I want to try to make it vertical. So I want you can start undercurving. I want you to undercurve towards the front of your mat and overcurve to the back of the mat. So our circle is going into and out of the floor. Still keeping the spine available for movement. Change direction of the circle. So you're overcurving to the front of your mat and undercurving to the back.
Okay,
What?
I can do it. I got one.
Really try to connect to pleasure, connect a little bit to groove even. Super awkward, I know, but man, it feels really good, or at least it does to me.
I just missed my butt.
Bring your hands to the middle of your chest. And I actually encourage you to bring your legs, some people, so Monica, you bring your legs a little closer together if you like, so they're only hip distance apart, yeah. You want to keep your feet planted to the floor the entire time. Let the meeting between the feet and the floor be soft. You can imagine that you're doing this orbiting practice on warm sand, since we're not allowed to go to the beaches now. Bring your arms out into a T. Any wide position. This is for freedom for interpretation. Like so weird and nice. I want you to begin orbiting, but now I want you to go side to side. So we're still going in and out of the floor, but I want you over curving to the right side of your mat and under curving to the left side.
So the counterclockwise level?
Yeah, so I'm going clockwise right
Clockwise,
now.
there you go.
And let's interrupt the rhythm of our circle and go 50% slower than usual. We want to try to be as intentional as we can with tracing the ball that's inside our pelvis and really initiating it from our tailbone and our pubic bone. Listen to how you're shifting the weight between the right and the left foot. Charlie asked for our heels stay down. I said yes for now. But as you're doing this, allow the joints in your knee and your ankle to be really soft. Try to take advantage of how our ankles is a ball and socket joint. Really connect to its roundness, connect to curves. You can allow your arms to go down, but still feel like you don't just drop them, they're still sensitive. Change direction of the circle. So we're over curving to the left side of our mat and under curving to the right side of our mat. Really try to enjoy the plie whenever you do an under curve. Feel it can be juicy.
Cute.
Melt any tension from your thighs. Try and allow the muscles to smoothly glide in and off the thighs, off the femur bone. Bring your arms out into a T. I'm going to try something with you all. Just go with it. Trust me, it feels really good afterwards. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. It doesn't matter which arm is over which, but I want you to feel like you're hugging yourself and you're reaching for your shoulder blades area. Continue the orbiting. Feel like you can really melt the tension in the center of your chest. It requires very little effort to hug yourself. Allow the shoulders to draw away from the ears. And let's orbit, and we're gonna complete the orbiting practice. So it's, you know how we started on the floor and we orbited horizontally, you know? Let's go counterclockwise, but it's horizontal now. So opposite of how you began. Feel as you're doing this, you can allow the wave from the pelvis to travel up the spine. Wow. BT dubs, do not let go of this hug. We want to try to maintain this as long as we can. I'll let you know when to release your arms. And when I say release your arms, we're going to do it really slowly, okay? Let this circling of your pelvis turn a little bit into a bounce. A really soft, fun, juicy, kind of groovy bounce. The bounce can be at really any speed you want it to be. But you want to feel as you're doing this, you're melting any tension in your chest. Do you have to sneeze?
Oh, I did. Sorry. Ugh.
Feel like you can hug yourself a little bit more than usual now, wrapping your arms a little further. Let out a couple sighs if you need. I know this is super awkward, but try to connect to the grooviness and the awkwardness of it. Change your front in the room. Try to take a walk around yourself as you're bouncing.
My bounce is slow.
Let the bounce come a little bit more from your feet. Your feet are the reason why you're bouncing. Pushing into and out of the floor.
Be a little bit more groovy with your pelvis. Don't be shy. I'm the only one looking at you. Now allow this bounce to turn into a shake. You want to feel like someone has your tailbone and they're kind of just shaking it. Connect to the goofiness of it. Feel that the shake can travel really everywhere in the body. It can travel through the spine, into your neck, travel into the floor. Really try to connect to groove and not any effort. We'll do this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, shake a little longer, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float, maintain the hug. Tuck the chin into the chest. And as we're folding over and rolling down our spine, really slowly and with sensitivity, begin to open your arms.
And allow them to dangle, allow them to melt towards the floor, but really take your time in letting them go. Let's all take a seat.
That was kind of the movement part of class. We'll try to get into some other stretches. You guys can take yourselves off mute. Do I need to do that? How's your body feeling right now?
Amazing.
Great. So we're gonna do some stretches together.
Monica, you said crazy?
I said amazing.
Feels great. You can move for yourself. Take a yawning sensation for yourself. Really do anything you want just to check in with your body before we go into these specific stretches. Doesn't really matter. You're lucky. Usually we hum as we shake, but I didn't do it today. Right? Oh, we do abs. Okay, you guys, you have to trust me. Little exercise. It doesn't require a lot of reps, but you do get a burning sensation. At least I do. So let's all. So let's all meet into boat pose. I see you checking your phone over there, Jen Shaw. This girl. In boat pose. Sit softly on your bum. Allow your arms and your palms to face upwards. Really try to imagine that you're a boat. Really try not to connect any heaviness or tension. And I want you just to bring your awareness between your knees and your chest. In 6 times, we're just gonna open together slowly and softly. So I'll do the first one on my own, so you guys really only do 5. But I'll say draw the knees and chest away from each other. So you're going into a hollow boat pose, still trying to let the sternum face the ceiling, chins away from the chest. And then you softly bring them back together. So we'll do 5 together. Really try to connect to pleasure and not to effort here. So 5, draw the knees and chest away from one another. Maintaining a steady breath. Draw the knees and chest towards each other. 5 and 4, allow the knees and chest to go away. Bring them back together. Let out a sigh if you need. 3, allow the knees and chest to go away. Nice and soft. Bring them back together. 2. And bring them back together. We have 1 more, you guys. Really enjoy the burning sensation. Knees and chest go away. Stay here and then just melt. Woo! The next one you can just watch on the screen. I made up a new ab exercise, fun fact. So it's called the love strand abs, okay?
So I want you to do, I'm gonna try to get the best angle possible, okay? So we're in a Pfeiffer scissor position, but, so my right leg's up in the air. I want your left hand to grab your right big toe. My right arm helps stabilize me. I want you to draw, you kind of create a hoop with this. Thank you, Charlie. I want you to draw the left knee into your chest through this hoop. Naturally, my right leg is gonna bend, and then I want you bringing your left heel towards the ceiling, and then you bring the left knee back into the chest, and then you come to the beginning position that you were originally in with straight legs, or straight air legs. I want you to do 5 on each side.
It's gonna
It's a fun little game, but it's like the best one. You only need to do 5 reps on each side, you guys, and try not to do it quickly. Try to be slow and intentional about it. Yeah, I'm watching you, Monica. Yes. Okay, good. And then, yeah. Thumbs up, girl. Absolutely. I can even do reactions, right? Claps.
We're doing both legs.
And then once you're finished with one side, go to the other side. So your right hand is on your left big toe. And you're thinking about how the right knee goes in and out of the chest. I need to do this with you. Now we're gonna do a 5-minute plank together. I'm just kidding. Thanks.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Wes went away. Is he okay?
I think he died.
Jeez.
He's making dinner.
Oh, right.
Someone's gonna cook for us.
How did that feel? Do you guys feel the burning sensation in your abs?
Crazy, right?
Okay, we're gonna just do 2 more stretches together. I always love a good pigeon pose and a good straddle position. That's my favorite positions. Fun fact. So to get into pigeon, we'll just go into a plank position. Now, if you want to, and you're a little extra like me, you can go into a downward dog. Oh, can you adjust the camera for me, Charlie, please?
Yes,
You
yes,
can allow,
boss.
down dog and allow your right leg to go nice and high to the ceiling. But then you go through plank, allow your right knee to go behind your right wrist, turn it out a little bit, and then allow your tailbone to drop down into the floor, allowing the hip flexors to be really soft. Ooh, good, Charlie.
Ow. Things pop. It's good.
Try to draw your left hip forward and your right hip backwards. So you can square your hips. Try to release any tension in your chest and in your torso. You can fold over your leg if you want, or go to your elbows, it doesn't matter. You
Jen's
fold
more
up-
flexy than that. Get down.
No, we got one for Jen next. Allow your forehead to meet softly against the mat.
I'll be up here. Don't worry.
Take a couple big Buddha belly breaths, some deep inhales and exhales, y'all, allowing spaces in between the vertebrae to elongate. Really enjoy this stretch. For people like Jen Shaw and I, if you want to, allow the left foot to float up behind you, allowing the left heel to reach towards the left bum. Bringing your left arm backwards to let your hand connect with the inside of your left foot. And then you try to square your shoulders as much as you can from this. And then you can pull your left heel towards your left bum a little more. And then if you got it, you can allow your left elbow to hook that left foot. And you can just hang out here for as long as you want. Really connect to pleasure. Let out a sigh if you need. I'm telling you, letting out sighs is really nice, you guys. Don't worry, y'all are on mute, so I won't hear you. You're in the comfort of your own homes. But you'll hear me.
Jen, for this.
Yikes.
Right?
Whew. Let that go. If you guys are into the splits, go into a nice splits after this. Otherwise, in your left pigeon pose, going to a nice plank position, allowing that. Want to be extra? Let that left leg go up towards the ceiling, pushing that right foot through the floor. Left knee goes behind the left wrist, turn out a little bit, 45-degree angles, or if you're extra, you can go 90. Then allow that pubic bone to sit nicely into the mat. What?
Arlene said she's sweating.
Camera on underneath. Damn, I didn't know you were taking class.
That is fun.
Allow your torso to softly go over your leg or on your elbows, allowing the forehead to meet towards. Allow it to softly meet with the
I
mat.
think Jordan isn't human. I'm sweating.
Connect to that warm sand. Really try to connect to pleasure, not effort here, you guys. Really try to elongate that lower back. If you want, if you can connect to that image I gave you earlier about trying to borrow skin from the ass and letting it go up towards the head. That helps me. Whatever. I don't think so either, but if you want it, you can stay here. If you want to be extra, allow that right foot. Sorry,
Yeah, show the other side.
allow that right foot to float on up. Bring that right hand to meet the inside of your right foot. Square off them shoulders. Whew, this is a lot. Draw that right heel down towards your right bum. And if you want, you can hook that elbow on.
Can you hook your elbow,
Oh
Jen?
my gosh, that's a lot.
Oh, I hate you.
Yes, queen. Wish Paul was doing this with us.
Paul can do this.
Really try to melt any tension away from your chest as you're doing this. Allow it to softly go towards the front of your spine. And if you'd like, if you want to be extra, get that left splits on.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
If you want, be really extra, you can connect that left, that right foot up.
Arlene's gonna leave.
We don't have much left. Let's just all meet in a nice second. If you need to have a pillow or something cushiony underneath your we should have really hot hip flexors by the end of this class. So if you want, just bring it on out. But I really do encourage you. Sorry, I'll move my computer down to the floor now. My internet connection's unstable. Ooh, that's bad news bears. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. In a second, if you feel that your lower back is like this, try to put something underneath your bum so your lower back can be a little more elongated.
Oh.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm already stretched.
Okay. Tuck the chin into the chest. You don't have to look at the screen for this. You can kind of just follow along. But if you want to watch me, totally fine. I tuck my chin into my chest and I allow my spine to softly roll down. And then from this curved position, I softly allow my hands to walk out in front of me, still maintaining the soft meeting between my chin and my chest, my collarbones. Let out a couple sighs. Y'all are on mute. It helps a lot. Tuck the tailbone in, roll up your spine again. Bring your arms out into a T. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Allow your right hand to go on the top of your right thigh and let your right hand trail on over towards your right foot. Really try to connect to your accordion ribs, softly collapsing the right side of your ribs and allowing the left side of your ribs to open. And then allowing your left arm to reach on over towards your right foot as well.
And just for a technique's sake, you can stay here, you can just listen to me. But notice if your weight is spilling behind you or if it's spilling more in front of you, you kind of want to connect that ass out, that I think it's interior tip of the pelvis. That's what you want here. That's how you soften your hip flexors, and that's the correct way of doing a stretch. So you don't want your weight to go behind you and behind your right leg. You don't want it to go behind your turnout. Really try to soften the back space of your neck here. Allow the weight of your head to deepen your stretch. Good, roll the spine up back to center.
Bring your arms out into a T. We'll do the other side. Allow the left hand to go on top of the left thigh. Allow it to trail down towards your left foot. Collapsing the left side of your ribs. Allowing the right side of your ribs to open and to breathe. Allowing the right bicep to softly go over your right ear. If you need to, every now and then, flex and point your feet. Just to release any tension. I smell your feet. Yikes.
I've been working.
You know how we said release the tension in your head, allowing the weight of your head to go deep in the stretch? Try to match the same sensation and put it in the middle of your chest so that you can relieve any tension and freedom from your pelvis. Sorry, the weight of my chest just took me forward. Roll your spine up back to center.
And just the last stretch. This time, we're gonna stretch forward, but instead of having your chin tucked into your collarbones, allow there to be somewhat of space between your chin and your collarbones, and just walk your hands out forward in front of you, really connecting to the ass out, that interior tip of the pelvis, and allowing the chest to softly, go towards the floor. If it can meet the floor, awesome, splendid, super stellar, really extra. But if not, really just try to allow the tension in the back of your neck just to soften and release.
This is all I got.
That's great.
Even if you're here, something that I worked on for a long time, keep going. Sorry, I'm just changing my angle. Okay, it's really awkward. It's really weird. It's a little goofy, right? I'm not twerking, I promise. But honestly, doing a little bit of that orbiting that we were working on with the tailbone, that really helped soften my hip flexors. I wish Coach Christina was here because she's probably really good at this. But seriously, honestly, like, it's really goofy, but honestly, this helps so much, you guys. And then, like, I'm allowing the wave to go a little bit in my spine. Really try it out for yourself. It's really awkward and goofy, but I'm telling you, it really helped me go into my forward
Stretch.
And Jordan, you're orbiting in a circle, right? You're not going like back and forth.
You can if you like, but I'm orbiting in a circle. Sorry, I know this angle's a little weird. You can only really see 50% of my body, but yeah, I'm thinking about circling.
Got it.
Ooh, got to change direction. That feels different. Softly roll your spine up. Bring your legs together. I always allow this to be the end of the class. It's a little funky, but I'm telling you, it feels really good, you guys. So I always do drumming. I don't call it, I learned it. Drumming. So you can allow your, it doesn't really matter how the legs are shaped, but you can watch me first. So when I drum, it's not so much about slapping, because I feel like when you're slapping, you're only letting the impact of the slap go to the skin. Like, I think about drumming, like I'm drumming my muscles, I'm drumming my flesh. You really want your leg to be soft and available for this. We're gonna do this for 10 seconds. As I count down to 1, I want you to increase the impact of your drumming. Yeah? So 10, 9, drum on your thigh, drum on your chin, 8, drum on your foot a little bit, 7, 6, 5. If you let your voice out, your voice should be shaking. 4, 3, 2, 1. Just kind of notice the sensation, what's different from your right leg between your left leg. Softly move to the other side. Start drumming on the left leg. For 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Don't forget about back of the leg. 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Massage the back space of your neck a little bit. Run your hands through your head a little bit too. Stretch the face. Make goofy faces. Let your tongue come out every once in a while. Let out a yawn if needed.
That's his literal yawn, guys.
And that is stretch and recovery.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Do you have, what did Arlene say? Gotta sit down for dinner. Bye. Okay. Any questions, concerns? If you gotta go, you gotta go. I totally understand. It's 8:30.
Thank you. That felt so good.
Groovy.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Jordan.
Thank you.
Right.
I aspire to stretch as far as you do.
Don't let me feel you. This is just me
As
feeling
much
good. This is a
as
good
you
day.
Okay, bye guys. Good night.
All right, night. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Oh.
Diener.
Diener. This is live YouTube.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I
Oh.
have to end that or.